Social conditions that triggered the revolution. There were two major religions in Iran: religious fundamentalism and religious conservatism. The Shah didn't agree with those religions, so he persecuted anyone who practiced them. Economic conditions that triggered the revolution. There was wealth inequality between the Shah, the nobility, and the proletariat. All the country's money was literally in the Shah's pocket. He also spent a lot of money in the event that commemorated the 2,500 years of the Persian Empire.
Political conditions that triggered the revolution. The Shah held a totalitarian government since the US helped him overthrow the Prime Minister in 1953. That let the Shah go back to his throne. The Shah didn't let the people have an opinion and ceased any type of oppressing with the use of the Savak. The Savak is the secret police. And in order to stay in power, he put in jail and tortured any kind of political opponents. The slogans used in the revolution. The people went down to the streets and said, Margabar Shah. That means death to the Shah. They also said, America Shaitanek Bosok. America is the great Saddam, the Gundur snake. The Ayatollah Khomeini also developed the slogan, not Eastern, not Western, Islamic Republic, because he repudiated the US and the Soviet Union.
The main actors of the Islamic Revolution were the Ayatollah Khomeini, Mohammad Reza Pahlavi, the Shah, and the Savak, the secret police, as well as the entire Islamic population. The development of the Islamic Revolution was that in 1963, the Shah launched some reforms called the White Revolution. Reforms were intended to take the landlord's land and give it to the peasants, and basically giving power in the government to all the people that supported the Shah. But some people didn't agree with the Shah's reforms, such as the Ayatollah Khomeini. He started creating some uprisings, and the Shah realized Khomeini was a threat to the government. So Khomeini was exiled to Iraq and then to France. However, the uprisings became more and more frequent, and on December 11 of 1978, more than 1 million people flooded the streets, claiming for the Shah to leave the country. And finally, on January 16th of 1979, Shah, ill from cancer and tired, stated that he would take some vacations because leaving the country was now a difficult matter. As his plane took off, people cheered out on the streets. The Prime Minister let all the political prisoners free and let the Ayatollah Khomeini return to the country. Finally, in 1980, the first president of the Islamic Republic was elected.
Social situation after the revolution. Women started to participate more in society. More women started having higher education levels and also involved in civil service. Higher education also rised all over the country, and even women were elected to the Iranian parliament. Economic situation after the revolution. In 1995, the country's per capita decreased to 1/4 of what it was prior to the revolution. Unemployment increased by 3 times, and economic growth is 2/3 lower. So Iran per capita decreased by 30% since 1979. World's third largest reserves of oil. They have the opportunity to grow and become the industrial engine of the region. They have everything but a good government.
Political situation after the revolution. Whether the Islamic Republic has brought more or less political repression or not has been argued over the past few years. Fear of the Savak has been replaced by fear of the revolutionary cause. Violations of human rights by the theocratic government is said to be worse than they were during the Reza Pahlavi years. Censorship is handled by the Ministry of Culture and Islamic guidance, without whose official permission no books or magazines are published, no audio tapes are distributed. That's why many people desperate to leave the country.
How can the outcomes of the Mexican Revolution be related with a Mexican life?
We now have free elections every 4 years. Re-election is not allowed. Freedom of expression is now a right. The political party can participate in an election. State security is now assured.